On iBrand News Now, suspected hoodlums raise police stations in Anambra and Abia states. Members of the Nigerian Bar Association marched to the National Assembly in solidarity with judiciary workers. Malawi fires Labour Minister, arrests officials over misuse of COVID-19 funds. Telecom companies insist banks have to pay the 42 billion naira USSD debt. Hello and thanks for joining us on News Now. Details of the news. I am Michael Nath. We begin the news with this developing story that gunmen have reportedly attacked and razed down a police station in Uzakoli. That's Bende local government area of Abia State. The incident occurred in the early hours of Monday. According to reports, the gunmen overpowered the policemen on duty and released suspects in custody. We'll bring you details of this bulletin in our subsequent bulletins. Now, similarly, suspected hoodlums have razed Zone 13 police headquarters in Ukpo, Anambra State. According to reports, no fewer than 2 policemen have died during the attack. No less than 4 vehicles have also been burnt, while firefighters are trying to put out the inferno. The development has heightened tension across the state. Members of the Nigerian Bar Association on Monday marched to the National Assembly in solidarity with the judiciary workers who are demanding financial autonomy. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria has commenced a nationwide strike to press home their demands. At the nation's capital, the Jusun workers converged on the gate of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, chanting solidarity songs and displaying placards. Topping the list of demands is the issue of financial autonomy to the judiciary. They are also asking for the payment of peculiar allowances to their members. Jusun had since April the 6th, 2021, left the courts in Nigeria under lock and key because of the non-implementation of financial autonomy for the judiciary as the third arm of government. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says the claim by his Edo State counterpart Godwin Obaseki that 60 billion naira was printed by the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to fund the government should not be ignored. Obaseki had on April the 7th raised alarm over the country's rising debt profile, saying the situation is more critical now because of the huge amount of borrowed services to service the ailing economy of Nigeria. He expressed worry that Nigeria is in huge financial trouble, adding that the federal government printed 60 billion naira to augment the federal allocation for March. The claim has been generating various reactions from Nigerians, the Central Bank of Nigeria, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, among several others. But Wike, according to a statement issued by his spokesman, Kelvin Eberi, challenged the CBN to unequivocally declare if money was printed or not. He said, quote, Obaseki was in APC, so he understands them. So Obaseki couldn't have come from the blues to pay to say they printed 60 billion naira, end of quote. The governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, says anybody jostling to be president of Nigeria will also need to secure votes in Rivers to combine with other Kano and Lagos to emerge victorious. Such pivotal position, he said, establishes the importance of Rivers State in the political scheme of the country, and nobody will be allowed to undermine it. Governor Wike made the assertion at the grand finale of the People's Democratic Party local government election campaign that held at Olako in Eche local government area of the state.
When they think say party, no other party will don't finish. You understand me? See, in Nigeria, and that's why I tell PDP, Whether they agree, they not agree, I want them to talk. No state has given PDP more vote than River State since 1999. You get any state? In the whole of the South, now where APC should not get 25%. President, they get them. They get them. They get them in assembly. They get House of Reps, Senate. Now to teach them lesson now. If you didn't dare, you didn't dare. So in Nigeria, nobody can become a president if you don't win either Kano and Lagos, or Lagos and Rivers, or Rivers and Kano. You must win one. You must win. So we are not like ordinary states. We are not like those who are going to make noise. I was watching RAZE television the other day. I heard two boys, Chief Andrew Bonule Uchendo, were my classmates in school. And I had one other boy who said he's chief medical director of the University Teaching Hospital. He said, I told him to invite the former governor. And I asked, I didn't know he had judicial powers to invite somebody. I didn't know. Two, he was never a chairman of any committee.
100 members of the Yoruba Self-Determination Group stormed Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, on Saturday to support a freedom rally organized by the Ilano Omo Odua, headed by Emeritus Banji Akintoye. The agitators were armed with banners and Yoruba nation flags calling for the freedom of Yoruba land. The secretary of the group, Dr. Akin Adejuwon, condemned the insecurity in Yoruba land, saying the people could no longer stand the injustice in Nigeria.
We just hope that our people, peace-loving people, will not be annihilated, but we will not wait for that to happen. If you ask me, Boko Haram, what is bad in Boko Haram as a religious ideology? Okay, you don't want to go to school, but don't prevent me from going to school. You cannot eat your cake and have it. You can't. I was a Boko Haram victim. In case you are some of you are not aware. I was kidnapped on the way to Adwekiti. I spent 6 days there. 2 people were slaughtered in my presence. They were disemboweled. I really don't want to witness that again. Since I regained my freedom, I've lost counts of Yoruba people that have been kidnapped, maimed, raped, tortured, and killed in the process.
That self-determination of the indigenous nationalities in Nigeria is the best way to go after 60 years of complete stagnation. And he says it is not stagnation, it is backwardness, because we are receding instead of progressing. So it's a natural thing for the people to be made aware, to be sensitized. And that is why the mandate that Ilana Odua has is to coordinate all like minds, all like organizations who can see that self-determination is what Yoruba requires. I'm a student of history. Professor Akintoye is a professor of history. It so happens that historians are the most alert to this information, because if you know where you are coming from, you will demand where you should be. Yoruba civilization is not an ordinary civilization in Africa. It's a foremost civilization. And Professor Akintoye is releasing a book in a few months that profiles that Yoruba civilization is the foremost civilization in the world, either by age, by archaeological evidences, or by even norms and values. We are a people who strive for the development of the community, not of the individual, like other. And that is why our departure is imminent. We are mixed up with some ethnicities that are devoted to the perpetuation of the individual.
At least 72 people were said to be missing, while about 2,000 others, mostly women and children, have been displaced following attack on Dogongawa community in Takum local government area of Taraba State. A local resident explained on Sunday that the attack happened on Friday. The attackers were said to have come in from Takum Axis in 2 Hilux vans and started shooting indiscriminately, injuring 2 persons in the process. Chairman of Takum Local Government Council, Shiban Tikari, told journalists that a policeman was killed at Dogo Ngawa on Saturday. Tikari, who said he was around the area when the incident happened, blamed the killing of the policeman on the remnants of Ghana boys. The Ondo State Security Network Agency, Amotekun, on Sunday seized about 250 cows, which allegedly destroyed 300 hectares farmland in Ipogun, Ilara, Mokun, and Awenadan areas of Ifidori, local government area of the state. The security outfit also apprehended 2 herders who accompanied the arrested cows into the farms. It was gathered that crops such as cassava, cocoyam, plantain, and maize were destroyed by the cows. The state commander of Motekun, Chief Adetunji Adeleye, said the corps, on receiving a report on activities of the herders, the communities mobilized to the area. We go on a short break now. When we come, we have more stories for you.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blomiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blomiville family.
Watching news now here on iBrandTV. African news now. 40 people, including senior officials, have been arrested in Malawi. Also, the Labour Minister Ken Kandodo has been sacked over misuse of COVID-19 funds. President Lazarus Chakwera said in a televised address he had commissioned an audit into how 6.2 billion Malawian kwacha intended for the country's coronavirus response program had been spent, and that this had identified that funds had vanished, been misused and left idle. Quote, as I speak, over a dozen individuals of suspectedly committing the crime exposed by this audit report have been arrested, he said, adding that this included an arrest at the office of the President and Cabinet. Chakwera promised to curb corruption when he took office in June last year, bringing his Malawi Congress Party out of opposition for the first time in 26 years. Now, 97 people were injured when 4 train carriages derailed in Egypt's Kalibua province north of Cairo. 2 security sources and local media reported that the several people had been killed in the accident, but there was no official confirmation of this. The train was heading from Cairo to the Nile Delta city of Mansoura and derailed at about 40 kilometers north of Cairo. The cause of the accident is being investigated. Now, foreign news. Islamist radicals in Pakistan have released 11 police officers that were taken hostage during violent anti-blasphemy protests against France over the weekend. The Interior Minister said on Monday officers were snatched by members of the Tehreek-e-Labak Pakistan during clashes outside the group's headquarters in the eastern city of Lahore. 3 TLP members were killed during the violence, according to the Islamists. Photographs of the captured police with their heads, legs and arms heavily bandaged were posted on social media by the captors. Now, Australia plans to accelerate the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines to people over 50 after advising under 50s not to get the AstraZeneca jab due to blood clot cancers. Prime Minister Scott Morrison said on Monday, state leaders agreed to bring forward vaccinating over 50s, going beyond frontline workers, the elderly, the disabled and people with underlying medical conditions at a national cabinet meeting with formal approval due on Thursday. Morrison said in a statement, and they also agreed to set up mass inoculation sites as vaccines increase. We'll go on a break now. When we come back, we have business stories.
Fresh from the farm, e good for body. No chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy wash. Just put on for fire and your food is ready. Everybody follow me to the banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me to banga, cook don't easy. Bangana palm fruit where they come on. Put them inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup where you like. And other food them like rice, beans and even yam. Now Pali Agro Product Limited then the manufacturer. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga, make your food yummy.
Hi everyone, my name is Chinwe Ebili. I'm here to introduce to you a very nutritious food produced and packaged by Pali Agro Product Limited. For this reason, the market has increased in stock. What are we talking about? True unripe plantain flour. It contains iron, fiber, vitamin B6, which helps your digestive system. Take a close look through unripe plantain flour because it is satisfying, unique, and good for the red blood cell. It reduces risk of diabetes and excellent for production. Hurry now while the stock lasts. True unripe plantain flour is available in all leading stores nationwide. Produced and packaged by Pali Agro Product Limited, Ashikpa Village in Ogun State.
It's news now on iBrandTV. Business news now. The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has revealed that the services along the Warri-Itakpe railway corridor, which is now operational, will create thousands of jobs for young Nigerians. Amechi made this known while flagging off the of cargo along the rail corridor in Warri as Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation began transporting pipes for RAZE Kaduna gas pipeline project.
You need to cooperate with the federal government. You need to cooperate even with the oil companies. I'm not, as a South person, I'm not here to struggle for if you don't give us this good news. even the federal government project, and it creates job. Half of those who were employed here, or 90% of those who were employed here, will come from this village.
So far, we completed program with over 6,000 pipes, and indeed, just this term will help towards about 96 pipes, which is equivalent of about 32 trainers of the year.
Although this is still far in reaching the expected destination of a nationwide rail network and services, it is necessary to mark and celebrate every milestone in the journey to that destination as we are doing today. The Senate assures the Minister of continuous cooperation and commitment towards the full realization of the long-held dream of a functional nationwide rail network through much needed appropriation.
In an attempt to reinvigorate Africa's largest economy using rail, Nigeria's federal government adopted a rail modernization master plan. The plan saw the construction of standard gauge rail tracks along several regional routes in the country. As a way of addressing issues of oil theft in Rivers State, the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps paraded 8 fake naval officers on an illegal escort in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The impersonators were paraded alongside 29 suspected oil thieves. The state commandant, Mauta Lawal, disclosed this while parading the suspects and seized trucks before journalists at the command's headquarters in Port Harcourt. Lawal noted that the arrested suspects were being investigated for possible prosecution, and he restated the Corps' commitment to protecting the nation's critical assets and infrastructure.
The bid to discourage the floating of illegal guns in the residential areas in the state, the command also destroyed 2 suspected illegal guns. The arrested suspects are currently being investigated before possible prosecution. Also, since this is a farming season, measures have been put in place by the command to ensure that farmers and herders go about their businesses without fear of possible attacks. We have intensified 247 patrol around the oil locations and installation as well as the rail tracks. The fight against vandalism among the rail tracks and oil installations in Rivers State is ongoing and will not stop until vandals take off the critical national assets and infrastructure in the state. The command is parading 37 suspected oil thieves, 13 trucks, 18 drums containing suspected adulterated stolen petroleum products, 1 bus, 5 cars, 1 pumping machine, 37 pieces of suspected vandalized railway clips, and 4 suspected railway slippers, a cylinder, and a torchlight suspected to be used for.
Telecommunications companies have insisted that banks have to pay 42 billion naira debt for the unstructured supplementary service data USSD. Chairman Association of Licensed Telecommunications Operators of Nigeria, Wenga Debayo, made this known while interacting with newsmen. This follows the accumulation of debt to the mobile network operators over a period of about 1 year for services rendered to the deposit money banks. The telecom companies also called for the intervention of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) over the dispute. Now, South Africa's rand strengthened on Monday, aided by the US dollar being pinned near a 1-month low and greater global risk appetite at 0.70710 GMT, and the rand traded at 14.2625 versus the dollar, around 0.4% stronger than its previous close. The dollar was dragged down by Treasury yields, hovering near their lowest in 5 weeks after the U.S. Federal Reserve reiterated its view that any spike in inflation was likely to be temporary. Meanwhile, greater risk sentiment are fueled by expectations that monetary policy will remain accommodative the world over sent Asian shares to a new high. Nolan Wepner, co-chief investment officer at fund manager Anchor Capital, said the rand was also rising on expectations of lower volatility, which will embolden carry traders seeking out higher yielding assets and of continued commodity rally. British Finance Minister Rishi Sunak announced on Monday the launch of a new task force for a potential Bank of England central bank digital currency and other measures to promote international share trading, Sunak told a financial industry conference. Quote, "We are launching a new task force between the Treasury and the Bank of England to coordinate exploratory work on a potential central bank digital currency." He added, alongside this, we set up a new financial market infrastructure sandbox for firms innovating with technologies like distributed ledger technologies. And that's news now here on iBrandTV. Thanks very much for watching. I am Michael Nath.